As humans, we pride ourselves on being the best at something, whether it's a job, a task, or even an athletic sport. This also applies to many sports teams. They thrive on being the best team ever assembled. But there's one thing that came across my mind. Which program is considered the best Big 12 men's basketball program ever? Well, a couple of minutes ago, I found that out. So I want to showcase it with a rankings video. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Drew, better known as RockChalk01, and in this video, I'm going to be ranking every Big 12 men's basketball program from worst to best, and it's all based on win percentage. Yep, I mean, this one should be pretty interesting to say the least, because a lot of these teams that are in the conference have some pretty solid records, some of them not so much. Now, before I get started, I do want to clarify things just a bit and say that we are just going to look at their conference records. So anything from 1996, 1997 up until the end of the 2022-23 season. So with that said, this is 14 teams, but this also includes the 4 teams that have already departed for other conferences, which means that Colorado, Nebraska, Missouri, and Texas A&M are all on this list. And yes, their records show that they haven't played as much games as some of the other schools, but still, I included them. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think and which teams kind of surprised you on where they are ranked. But without further ado, here's the list.
To begin the list, we start in last place with TCU. Man, the Horned Frogs have not caught a break since joining the conference in 2012. Although they've had some moderate success since hiring Jamie Dixon, but the overall time has been a complete dumpster fire. That includes 3 last place finishes, including a winless conference season in 2014. Their overall record against the Big 12 is 59 wins and 137 losses. That's a win percentage of 30.1%. Their best finish in the Big 12 came in 2018 when they finished 5th in the conference. Next at number 13, I've got Texas A&M. This is how the story goes. They struggled from the beginning, then finally got successful, and then decided to dip for the SEC, which they continued to moderate success. The Aggies have had 3 last place finishes in the Big 12, including going winless in 2004. Their overall record against the Big 12 is 98 wins and 160 losses, with a win percentage of 38%. And their best finish in the Big 12 was when they finished 2nd back in 2007. Now, number 12, I've got Colorado, and this is their story. They had one incredible year, then stayed towards the middle of the pack with the occasional slump here and there, and then decided to join the Pac-12. That slump that they had included 3 last place finishes in a row. Their record in the Big 12 was 95 wins and 145 losses. That's a win percentage of 39.6%. Their best finish in the Big 12 came in 1997 when the Buffs finished 2nd in the conference. Moving on to number 11, I got Nebraska. Now, most of the time, the Cornhuskers were in the middle of the pack of the Big 12. However, it doesn't seem like that because, well, they just couldn't win outside of the Big 12. The Cornhuskers had 2 last place finishes while in the Big 12, and it's kind of gotten worse since they moved to the Big 10. Their overall record in the Big 12 was 97 wins and 143 losses. That's a win percentage of 40.4%. And their best finish in the Big 12 was in 1998 when the Huskers finished 4th in the conference. Coming in 10th place, I've got Texas Tech. They had a couple hiccups here and there, but mostly they've been middle of the pack up until recently. They've had 4 last place finishes in the conference. However, Bob Knight and Chris Beard kind of resurrected the program, which also includes a 2019 Final Four appearance. Their record so far is 185 wins and 270 losses. That's a win percentage of 40.6%. and their best finish came in 2019 when the Red Raiders finished tied for first in the Big 12. Next at number 9, I've got Iowa State. The Cyclones have had moderate success in the Big 12, but are more towards the middle of the pack. However, they were really good in the early 2000s and mid-2010s, which includes 5 conference tournament championships in 2000, 2014, 2015, 2017, and 2019. Yet they did have 2 last-place finishes, including going winless in 2021. Their record in the Big 12 is 202 wins and 254 losses. That's a win percentage of 44.2%. And their best finish was finishing first twice, both in 2000 and 2001. Now, number 8, I've got Kansas State. The Wildcats have had some moderate success in the conference, but they're more towards the middle of the pack almost every year. They've started to get that success in the late 2000s and early 2010s and had a little bit of a revival this past season. The Wildcats sadly have had 3 last-place finishes while in the Big 12 and have a record of 204 wins and 252 losses. That's a win percentage of 44.7%. Their best finish came when they finished tied for first in the Big 12 twice, both in 2013 and 2019. At number 7, I've got Baylor. And besides TCU, the Bears have probably had the worst start since joining the Big 12. But since 2010, the Bears have put their foot on the gas, which includes winning the 2021 NCAA Championship, their first in school history. The Bears have had 3 last-place finishes since joining the Big 12 and have a record of 211 wins and 241 losses. That's a win percentage of 46.6%. Their best finishes came when they finished tied for first and went first, both in 2021 and 2022. Moving right along to number 6, I've got West Virginia, and I'm really surprised that the Mountaineers have done really well since joining the Big 12. They made it to a few conference tournament championship games, but since then, they've slipped and have had 2 last-place finishes in the last 4 years. The Mountaineers' record currently is 97 wins and 100 losses. That's a win percentage of 49.2%. Their best finish came in 2016 when the Mountaineers finished second in the Big 12. Coming in at number 5, I've got Oklahoma State, and the Cowboys have been pretty solid in the conference, staying towards the top half almost every year. The Pokes have 2 conference tournament championships under their belt, both in 2004 and 2005, along with a 2004 Final Four appearances. Their worst finish in the Big 12 has been 9th, only 3 times. Their record right now sits at 233 wins and 223 losses. That's a win percentage of 51%. And their best finish was finishing first back in 2004. Next at number 4 is Missouri, and my goodness, the Tigers have had the biggest fall from grace since leaving the Big 12 for the SEC, because oh my goodness, they had really good success with the occasional hiccup here and there, and now they're terrible. They had 2 Big 12 Conference Tournament Championships, one in 2009 and one in 2012, and their worst finish was 11th back in 2006. Their overall record in the Big 12 was 139 wins and 119 losses. That's a win percentage of 53.9%. And their best finish came in 2012 when the Tigers finished second in the conference. Now at number 3, surprisingly, is Oklahoma. I did not expect the Oklahoma Sooners to have this much success because they have finished no worse than 8th only 3 times in Big 12 history, and 2 of them being last place finishes. You can thank Calvin Sampson and Lon Kruger for this success, as those 2 coaches helped Oklahoma clinch 3 conference tournament championships, which are actually consecutive from 2001 to 2003, and 2 Final Four appearances, one in 2002 and the other in 2016. The Sooners have a record of 250 wins and 205 losses. That's a win percentage of 54.9%, and their best finish was finishing tied for first back in 2005. Continuing on to number 2, I've got Texas, and the Horns have had really good success in the Big 12 that they plan to continue once they move to the SEC. However, I think it's doubtful. The Horns have finished worse than 7th only once, and that was a last place finish in 2017. Their success includes 2 conference tournament championships in 2021 and 2023, along with a Final Four appearance in 2003. Their record sits at 275 wins and 180 losses. That's a win percentage of 60.4%. Their best finish was first and tied for first 3 times, once in 1999, another in 2006, and the final one in 2008. And finally at number 1, it's pretty obvious by a landslide, it's Kansas. They are without a doubt the most successful team in Big 12 history. They have finished no worse than 5th in the entire conference's existence. They've won 12 conference tournament championships, one in 1997, 1998, 1999, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2010, 2011, 2013, 2016, 2018, and 2022. This also includes 6 Final Four appearances and winning 2 NCAA championships. The Jayhawks have a record 370 wins and only 86 losses. That's a win percentage of 81.1%. And their best finish is first and tied for first, and that has happened 21 times. First in 1997, then 1998, 2002, 2003, a 14 straight Big 12 championship streak from 2005 until 2018, 2020, 2022, and 2023. And that's going to do it for my ranking of every Big 12 men's basketball team from worst to best based on win percentage. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Also leave a like, share, and subscribe, and push that notification bell. Also tell your friends about these videos. And I should see you again when the next one comes out. But until then, have a good day. Never ever bring exotic dancers to the field house, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.